For ages now, goblins have been pillaging villages, bullying troops, and even raining from the sky. But now for the first time ever, goblins will be spawning from the ground in the brand new Goblin drill. So how is it that a bunch of nim-witted, simple goblins found themselves inside of a brand new contraption that would safely deliver them all the way from one side of the arena to the other? Find out all of that and much more inside of today's origin story video. Here is the Goblin drill's origin story. For a long time now, the goblins have been a staple in the Clash Royale arena. The king has been especially impressed by them and has opted to use them in just about every imaginable way possible, as goblins are just that versatile in battle. There's stab goblins for close range, spear goblins to attack air, a goblin barrel to launch anywhere in the arena, and then there's a guard goblin for super long range, and lastly but not least, a goblin cage for super jacked goblins. And there's even a goblin giant just simply for overkill. The point is, goblins are everywhere, and the Clash Royale arenas would not be the same without them. However, given this, the goblins felt super underappreciated. Just take for example, one day after battle, a couple of goblins were sitting around a table at the local Clash bar talking about that day's battles. One goblin brought up how his group single-handedly took out a tower all by themselves, just to be used as sacrifices later on in that battle. It was like the king was just disposing of them like garbage. And then later on the king crammed them all into a tiny little barrel and then literally shot them out of a cannon, knowing that the other king had a log in his hand too. And to make matters even worse, the king just kept doing this over and over and over again, sacrificing the goblins one after another. As the goblins were talking about all of this, they looked over and saw a group of skeletons walk in. The goblins thought to themselves and then spoke up. I mean, things could be a lot worse. Those skeletons get sacrificed way more than us. But then one of the goblins mentioned that, yeah, that was true, but some skeletons were at least smart enough to use a balloon to avoid dying immediately and getting across the battlefield safely, so they couldn't have been that stupid. The goblins pondered that a bit and started thinking if they could do something like that. But they were of course too heavy to float in a balloon, and so that would never work. So the goblins kept pondering and started thinking if they could do something similar. But unfortunately, before they could brainstorm, another goblin came bursting into the bar and stormed over to the goblins' table. Without wasting any time at all, the goblins told the others that he was going to pull off a heist and he would need their help. Obviously, with goblins being goblins, they couldn't turn down a chance to steal some gold and elixir, and so they followed the other goblins to a place near the Clash of Clans village. The goblins went over to the heist plan and then explained that they were going to dig their way under the walls to the elixir and gold storages and then empty it out from there. The plan seemed simple enough, and so the goblins went to go get shovels to start digging. But when they brought them back, the heist leader told them, no, we don't need a dig. I paid the builder to build me some sweet new drill to do it all for us. And so the goblins hopped into the drill and burrowed their way all the way to the gold storage, just like a group of miners. Once they got to the gold storage, they emptied out all the gold and elixir, and before they knew it, they had stolen all the resources. The goblins scurried out of there and then started to take a look at their loot. For a group of goblins who the king barely cares about, they now had almost as much gold as he did. They were gonna be rich. When the goblins started to divvy up the gold and elixir, one of the goblins offered a proposal. He told the heist leader that he would buy that drill off of him for a small share of his gold, and since the heist leader had no need for this drill anymore, he accepted his offer. The goblins then later each went on their own way. The next day, the goblin brought his brand new drill to the arena, and when the king told him to go attack the other tower, he said sure. But instead of running out like a nim-witted goblin and just dying right away, he grabbed a group of goblins and they jumped into his brand new drill. They then burrowed their way over to the king's tower. The goblin was a pretty terrible driver, and so he accidentally crashed his drill into the tower. And once he got there, the goblins were all knocked around and fell over on each other. And so as they were getting up, they got it up kind of slowly, and they had to leave the drill one at a time as the door was quite small as well. As all of this was happening, the king started shooting the drill to try and destroy it, but the goblins just kept on coming. Until eventually the king took one last shot out of his cannon and blew up the drill. Miraculously though, all the goblins were a lot tougher than they looked, and they still survived that explosion. And out popped 3 more of them to make matters even worse for the king. Together, all the goblins wiped out the king's tower and claimed victory. It looked like the Goblins had found a foolproof way to avoid getting attacked and get all the way safely across the arena without being sacrificed or dying right away. So never again would they have to charge the other King's Tower with no defense or be sacrificed to incoming troops. They were now so much more valuable than this. Unfortunately for other regular Goblins though, they didn't have access to this drill, and so some of them still had to live the typical life as a normal stab Goblin. But for those that were lucky enough, they got to ride shotgun in the brand new Goblins drill. And for a long time to come, the Goblins continued to wreak havoc on the Clash Royale arenas. Some of them being Spear Goblins, some of them the Goblin Giant, and now for a certain select few of Goblins through the Goblin Drill. Anyways, that there is the story of how the Goblin Drill made its way into Clash Royale. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe for more story videos to come out soon. There's been a lot of Clash of Clans and Clash Royale updates coming out, and so there's a lot of exciting stuff there. I've also got some cool new videos that no one else has done before inside of Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, so I'm really excited to share those with you. I'm going to try and start posting a lot more. I've just started a brand new job, and so I fell a little bit behind, but now everything is sort of under control, and so I will be starting to publish a bit more. I'm also starting to look for a brand new video editor so that I can start posting a bit more often as well, so hopefully that will help speed things up as well. Anyways, I'll keep this ending short. Thank you guys for watching, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys all in the next video. Peace out.